This week, it's Face to Face Tuesday, a day of favorite episodes chosen by the cast, fans, even A.
Did you miss me?
And visit our all-new Superfan Suite for special guests and surprises. Then, no more lies.
Please help me.
A will tell all.
Oh my God.
The Pretty Little Liars summer finale, Tuesday at 8, ABC Family.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. Who's excited for Lucy to be here?
I'm so excited. This is awesome. Thanks for coming.
So, as we saw in that little sneak peek,
Yeah.
we will finally get some answers from
Finally.
this summer of answers, which I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys, but there have been no answers.
At all, right? But
At all.
I can finally promise you after, who's been watching the whole 5-6 years? Some of you guys? Cool. So I know that every time we have a finale or a premiere, we're like, you're gonna find out who A is. I promise this time you actually do. So it's a big episode. It's really exciting.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Thanks.
So, apparently we have Charles, but we don't
Right.
know
Who is
Who
Charles?
is Charles?
I was even confused. So I read the script, and at that time they were like, at least to the cast, they're like, you're actually gonna find out who A is, because us as the cast, we don't know either. We sort of go along with the audience, which is really fun. And I read the script, and they just introduced this new character, and so there was actually something like trending on Twitter, who the F is Charles, and so I was in the same boat. I had no idea who it is. So you kind of find out who that is. Why they go by the name Charles, how they got involved, why they've been tormenting us for 5 years. So all of those questions finally get answered.
And were you surprised by who Charles was yourself?
I cannot tell you how it comes out of nowhere, totally out of left field, how they thought of this storyline. And apparently they knew that they wanted to do this with the show since the very first season. And so I want to tell you guys so bad. I want to say so many things, but it's a shock, to say the least. Yeah.
So tell me about this time jump they're going to do following the finale. Can you give us any hints or what we can expect?
Yeah, what can I share? So I've been playing a 16-year-old for about 5 years now. So it's fun. You know, I'm 26 in real life, and I started the show when I was 20. So they decided that they wanted to flash forward a little bit. So it's about 5 years in the future. Still playing younger than I am, but glad to be playing an adult. And so pretty much the girls have been living an A-free life for 5 years. And Allison begs them to come back to Rosewood, and that's sort of where the remainder of 6th season and 7th season will take place, is sort of seeing how their lives have developed over these 5 years, and they have new relationships. And then, of course, you know, the big whirlwind of A continues, and that's why they come back to Rosewood.
So all the girls are still friends, or
They
are there
are,
some
yes. I mean, there's
complications?
definitely a little friction, and you'll understand why. There's some friction between the girls and Allison, but no, the girls are still tight, still best friends after 5 years. Yeah.
And so speaking of you playing a 16-year-old all these years, you do have this romance on the show with Ezra, who is older than you.
An older man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are soulmates, apparently. But how does that feel for you
guess.
to be playing? You guys are the same age, you and Ian, or close to the same age
Right.
in real life. But how is it to portray this age gap between you two on the show?
It's really funny because when we started the show, he was supposed to be like 22 years old. I don't know any teachers that were that hot and that were that young teaching. So it was sort of a heightened reality from the beginning. So we were just like, this is hysterical. But it was really interesting at the beginning of the show because they have these like parenting groups that were boycotting our show because of this relationship. Because obviously a student-teacher relationship isn't really, you know, praised upon. But I think that that's why a lot of people tuned in the beginning, is because our show didn't shy away from, you know, topics like that. And so we sort of just rolled with it. I think we just had such great chemistry from the beginning that we wanted it to be like an adult relationship anyway. So the age gap didn't really make a difference, if that answered your question.
And so what's happening with that relationship? Will it be rekindled? Will it last
Where
through
did
this
we
time
leave
gap?
off? There's sort of like cat and mouse at all times. I always laugh because they're never stable. They're like an old married couple, and they're still so young. But where we are in the time jump, it's sort of they've gone and lived, they say goodbye to each other. They go and live their separate lives. He develops a relationship with a woman, and I'm with someone else. And but it's sort of when they see each other again, it's just undeniable. I'm hoping that I want like a big marriage episode, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, because now you'll be old enough too, which is always
we're all
a good
old
thing.
now. 22, yeah.
So the show is very dark and twisty, and we've seen other shows in the similar kind of genre with The OC or Gossip Girl that haven't lasted as long as Pretty Little Liars has. So tell me why you think the show is so successful and why you guys always tune in week after week, summer after summer.
I truly believe it's because of the fan base. And when we started the show, it already had a cult following. These books were really, really popular, but these fans, they break Twitter every week. They've, and it's internationally successful, which is really crazy. And I think it's because of the hype of the people that watch the show that encourage the writers and the producers to really, no pun intended, but like bring their A game, like each episode. That was really cheesy. I can't believe I said that. But they really have tried to do their best to please the audience because that's why I love the show, obviously, and I love Aria and I love playing her, but I really enjoy seeing everyone's reactions, and still people get excited after 6 years, and we've put the audience, like we've strung them along. I know, like I feel so bad because everyone's just like, when are we finally going to find out? But the fans have really stuck with the show, and I think that that's what's made it, taken it to the next level.
And you have this amazing teen audience, and the show is based on a group of teenagers. And, some of us at HuffPost Entertainment were talking about how, the cops and the parents in the show, they're not the ones finding the answers. They're not the ones helping out you girls. You're kind of on your own. And we kind of correlated it a little bit to, like, teen voices nowadays and how they're not always heard. Can you kind of talk about that correlation a little bit?
Yeah, aside from the cliffhangers and the drama and the darkness of the show, what I really loved is that these are 4 really strong female characters, and it's also, you don't always see on TV really strong friendships, and so I love that too, that through something that should have more than broken them apart and made them want to actually kill each other, they have stuck by each other's sides, and they've really lifted each other up in a time that's been obviously really chaotic. But also, these girls stick up for themselves, and they really speak their mind, and why I loved Aria from the beginning is that she does not take no for an answer. She can be almost a little annoying at times because she literally doesn't take no for an answer. She really goes for what she wants. And does that kind of answer your question? I think that it's important for girls to see that they can stick up, especially the whole bullying stuff that's going on right now. Our show revolves around one person bullying these 4 girls, and so they're really fighting back. And I think that aside from everything else, is like that's the underlying message.
And it's great to have a show that young girls can watch and young guys.
There's a lot of dudes that like it too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about how you got your start in the business, because I always find it so funny that you were on this like American Idol spinoff.
Oh yeah.
And that's where you found called American Juniors. I'm sure all of you know this. So tell me a little bit about that.
Or hopefully
experience.
you don't. So I was 13. Oh, the ambulance. I always forget we're in New York and there's just noises everywhere.
It's like a Pretty Little Liars ambulance outside.
Yeah, right. I was 13, and at the time I was obsessed with American Idol. It was the season that Kelly Clarkson was on. And I grew up singing. So for a lot of the people you don't know, I grew up performing and loving music, and this was before I even gave like one thought about acting. And so I saw on TV there was a commercial for American Juniors, which was the kid version of American Idol. Begged my mom to let me audition, made it through all the rounds, went to LA, and ended up being voted into the winning group, which I'm trying to like word this right. Great experience. I don't know if I would be like in LA if it weren't for that. Kind of a nightmare afterwards. It was 5 kids that I was 13. There was like a 7-year-old in the group. It was just a mess. But because of that, it led me to start auditioning for things like Hannah Montana and Hairspray. And so musically musical-related acting projects. Because I was like, I don't know if I want to give acting a try. I don't know if I'd be good at it. But I started putting myself on tape for things like that. Horrible job. I did a horrible job on them. But begged my mom to take me out to LA for pilot season, which is when you audition for all the new shows that are being cast. And planned on being, this is when I was 15, planned on being out there for 3 months, and I've been there ever since. So, I have an amazing mom that literally gave up everything for me to go there, and just started booking. Who said, aw? I know my mom is really sweet. She's probably watching. Hey, Mom. But just started booking little Nickelodeon shows, and then a couple of series that got canceled. And then there's a show called Privileged on CW that actually... You watch Privileged? People watch it? I know, I still miss that show. But it was because of that I got PLL, because it was the same production company. So everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're from Tennessee, and you kind of went back to your musical roots last year with your debut album, which I loved.
Oh,
and I'm a
thank you.
big country music
Are
fan,
you?
so that
Cool.
was awesome to see you do that. So tell me a little bit about that experience, what that was like, and if you're going to go back and record
more?
another album.
Yeah, I had always, like I said, I started out in music, and it had always just sort of been my hobby, and I always in the back of my head knew I wanted to make a country album, but when I was younger, I was really hesitant about it because this was before like country music was cool. I mean, I've always thought it was cool, but now it's acceptable in society to
really,
be cool.
Really cool.
And so I always knew I kind of wanted to do that, and then I did a really great film on ABC Family called Cinderella Story. No, it was fun, don't get me wrong. But I played a singer, and I just meant it wasn't my best acting work. That's what I meant. But I played a singer, and so that's how I got a record deal. And then I think they assumed I wanted to go in the pop direction, but I was like, here's the kicker. I want to do country music. And so they were a little blindsided, I think, but they believed in me and really sort of gave me full control of this album. And we spent about 2.5 years, because I filmed the show 9 months out of the year, so I would film Monday through Friday, fly away on the weekends to write, come back, and we did that for a while, but made an album I'm really proud of. It took, there were peaks and valleys, and it was hard for people to sort of take me seriously because they see me as Aria right here, which is great, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity of the show, obviously. But it was a lot. It was very gratifying at the end because I really did have to work hard for it and sort of prove myself. And so many things have come from it. Like I got to sing at the Opry, which was something on my bucket list. And there's something being announced on August 14th, which was something I didn't even know I wanted to do, but it happened, and it's really a dream come true. It's musically related. So, I mean, as of right now, album was released last year, but this thing that gets announced in August is sort of the only thing I'm doing musical right now. But, I mean, I think I'll continue to make albums the rest of my life if I'm given the chance to.
You're always inspired. It doesn't
Oh,
matter,
yeah.
So that's all you need.
Yeah.
But I have to open it out to the floor because I know so many of you want to ask Lucy a question. So let's do it,
I'm
guys.
nervous.
Look at all these hands.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question. With the costumes, do you get to pick out Aria's costumes or have an opinion?
What do you
and
think?
Do you get to keep any of it?
Do you think I get to choose? No, I don't get to choose them. They're a little too crazy for me, but we have a really great wardrobe designer who has pretty much invested her whole life into the show and really differentiating each of the characters. And I don't get to keep anything. It sort of goes into the Warner Brothers vault. So they take every show that's filmed there, they take all the clothes and put them into this, in all these racks. So they get recycled, I guess, so other shows can use them. Not that, I don't know if other people would wear the clothes that Aria wears, but yeah, it's really fun because she's really out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that prom outfit looks like a winner.
My little Snow
Love
White.
that, yeah.
That dress was heavier than what I was. It was really uncomfortable.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, hey.
I just have to say that you really are my favorite. I can't.
I like you. Thank you.
I really hope to get a picture with you later. But anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll do it afterwards.
Question. So what do you think has been your formula for success?
My formula for success. What a great question. Even I don't know the answer. I don't know. There's something great about being a little naive about what you're doing because I moved to LA, no idea what the heck I was doing or getting myself into. And I think if I had known more about the business, I would have been scared and ran home. But it was sort of, I was just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just moved from Tennessee to LA, and I was like, well, of course it's gonna work out. Like, why wouldn't it? And so I think that just having that like positive mindset that everything will work out in your favor, just sort of, I'm a big believer, it's cheesy, but in positive thinking, I believe that what you put out there is what you get in return. And so, you know, I know I was gonna be on a TV show that's been running 6 years? No, but there was really no doubt in my mind that I was gonna be happy doing whatever it was that I was doing. So I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah, okay, cool.
Hi, Lucy.
Hey.
So you're talented and successful in obviously both music and television. So I was wondering if there are any new musicians or new television shows or actors that you're really like into right now.
My obsession, along with probably everyone in this room, I love Orange is the New Black. I think, I think that obviously the show is so well written, but with the cast that's, you know, all female, and there's so many different characters, each one of them is so specific and different, and I think that that's really hard to do because, you know, on our show, we can sort of see ourselves blending into each other's characters, and then we sort of like have to check ourselves and be like, oh, I'm not Spencer, I'm Aria. I can't like say it like that. And I think that on Orange is the New Black, they've really pinpointed who each person is, and, you know, it's such a character-driven show, and so that's sort of what I'm into right now.
Hi Lucy, my name is Jess. I'm a major follower of you on Instagram. I adore your Instagram.
Thank you.
I saw a couple of days ago you posted a picture that your mom made you like cute snacks for the plane.
Yeah.
I'm from Ireland and I live in New York now, and you're probably really close to your mom. I'm really close to your mom. How do you deal with like traveling and being homesick and, you know, seeing people and getting to talk to them with time differences and stuff?
Yeah, that's sort of the hardest part of, you know, I'm the lone ranger out in LA. No, I have no family out there. Everyone's in back home in Memphis. And so I'm lucky that there's not a huge, like for you, I'm sure it's a huge time difference, but for me it's only a couple hours. But that's the hardest part is I miss really important birthdays and events, and my sister just had a baby, so that's sort of, I've tried to go home a lot to, I feel like I'm like signing right now. But I really make an effort on weekends to go home, and this last weekend was a nightmare because I got stuck at the airport and we had to rearrange the work schedule. So things like that happen too, but it's worth it at the end of the day, so
yeah. So many.
Hey, so you already mentioned that you're excited for your time jump and to see your character grow up, but was it emotional shooting your last scenes as a high school student, or?
I want to say it was like 4 a.m. and I was just so out of it and tired that I didn't realize it was my last scene playing Aria as a teenager. But I do get, because we're a little more grown up, her outfits are a little more subdued, so it's a little sad saying goodbye to crazy Aria. But so many aspects are the same on the show, so it doesn't feel like a different show. It just feels fresher and newer. But yeah, I think I was so tired when we filmed that last scene. I was just like, get me home. I gotta go.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
You said that the writers keep you guys in the dark for all the twists and things that happen. Mm-hmm. And there have obviously been a ton of twists over the years. What's been sort of the biggest twist that has taken you guys by surprise over the past 5 seasons?
Ooh. I think, and I'm not just saying this to get you guys more excited about the finale, but it really is so bizarre that I think they might have been drunk like when they came up with it, because I'm like, where did this come from? But it does all sort of make sense, because what I'm always impressed about is the fans of the show will go back and rewatch all the episodes and come up with their theories, and I'm like, well, crap, they're right. How'd they come up with this? So when you find out who A is, if you backtrack in the show, you're like, oh my God, this is why this happened. This is why this makes sense. So I would have to say that. And then also, I'll never forget when, I guess season 4, season 3, when they made Ezra A. I was like, why are y'all doing this to me? Come on. But he was a little too good to be true, so they had to dirty him up a little bit.
We have time for one more question.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
You can call me Aria. It's cool. I don't think anyone knows my real name anyway.
You're my favorite out of all the 4 girls. So, what is the similarities between you, Lucy, and your character Aria, and how does it ever affect your personal life?
Oh, my personal life. I'm a lot like Aria. that's originally because when I got to be a part of the show, the producers gave me the script. The first time it had ever happened to me. They were like, choose a character, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And so I actually wanted to play Hannah first, and I read for Hannah, and they were like, maybe not. Is there another character you want to play? And then I was always gravitating towards Aria because we're so similar. Like we're both very, very stubborn, a little bit sassy. But like I said, very headstrong and very smart. And I'm not saying that I'm smart, but like whatever. Okay, I just dug myself in a hole. But just related to her on a lot of different levels. And then I guess the biggest, what am I talking about? The biggest difference would be she's kind of like a hopeless romantic, obviously. She's been fighting for Ezra for like 6 years now. So we're kind of different in that way, but we have like really strong family values and friend values. So I guess what I'm saying is, yes, I am Aria pretty much to a T. So
I think we're done, guys. I'm sorry, but you have to tune in on Tuesday night, right?
Yes, you have
for
to.
the big finale, where you'll get all of your answers.
Yes.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully. No, I swear you do. I
You never
swear.
know. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much.